one.
How you doing, guys? You know who I am. It's your boy Nando, and this is the Pound for Pound Boxing Show. Special live edition in association of Bravose Boxing and also association of Warrenboxingmagement with Box Nation as well. Today, very special guest, and I'll tell you why this man is a very special guest. When we started this channel 2 years ago, this was the first guy to give us a chance. He came all the way from Wembley. He drove all the way to Wembley to Tooting in southwest London in an abandoned restaurant as well. He gave us his time, sat down. We did it like an hour and a half interview. You know, we chatted. You know, he was set. He was getting ready to fight Liam Dillon for the English title at York Hall. Roll on all those years later. This man is signed with Dillianwhyte. He's now part of the Matchroom team. He's part of a great stable. And you know what? We consider him as a great friend as well. It's Super Youssef Khoumari. Let's see if we'll get Youssef on right now. Just waiting for Youssef. And welcome everyone if you're joining us right now. See if we can get Youssef on.
Yes.
Yes, champ. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, thank you for the lovely intro, man. Sounded
Yeah,
proper.
man. Listen, I always tell you, you know, you're the first guy that gave us that opportunity, man. And to see you now where you are now in your career, we're proud of you, man. Like, we always knew you can do it. You know, you went from York Hall where a lot of great fighters start off from, and now you're in the big arenas, man. It's where you belong.
Come on, we've come a long way, man. We've still got a long way to go, and it's good to see you guys as well. I see you guys got the thing with Box Nation, and you're just growing from strength to strength, man. Like, I didn't even know that place where we did the first interview was abandoned. How did you lot get in there? You just break in?
It was my restaurant. I own it, bro.
Yeah.
I know I'm from South. I'm not that much of a South man.
I didn't even know it was abandoned. I just said, huh? Man.
How's things with you, man? Before we even talk about yourself, just a quick thing. How's Dillian doing? Is he ready for next week? How's his mindset?
You know what? I haven't really spoken to him, but, you know, I think he's someone that's always ready for anything that comes around the corner. You know, he put out the little videos today. His training camp looks like he's training extra hard. He just looks ready to go. He looks locked in, focused for another night, you know, another fighting that he's used to doing. So I'm looking forward to it.
How big is this? 94,000 people, history.
It's history, you know. It's the biggest, I say, British boxing event in years for as long as I can remember. Anyway, especially like in my lifetime, I don't remember one that was bigger than this, especially because it's in the heavyweight division. And I think what makes it even bigger is the fact that, you know, Dillian's finally getting his chance to win the world title. You know, they had him waiting for, was it 1,000 days, close to 1,000 days or something. So it's finally time for him to go there and take this opportunity and bring the title home.
How much would it mean to him and his team if he does that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll mean the world because, you know, to be waiting 1,000 days for your chance to finally get it, it must make it even sweeter. I'll tell you what's going to make it even sweeter is that everyone, you know, he's the underdog in this fight. A lot of people are writing him off. So it'll probably be even that much sweeter just to go out there and prove everyone wrong, you know. Especially from the way they've been dealing with him. Especially, like, you know, trying to put him on the Ryanair and the 6 tickets and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, man, it'll be good.
I think he's the wrong person you want to underestimate because unlike Deontay Wilder, look, he can bang like Wilder, but he can box better than Wilder. So he's someone that you really don't want to underestimate.
Exactly. You know, we all know he comes to fight and you're not going to have an easy night in front of Dillian, no matter who you are. So it's going to be a great fight. And, you know, my money's on Dillian to bring the title home.
Of course. Let's talk about yourself, Super. How's training going? Is there any news of your next fight coming up?
You know what? Training's going good. I'm ticking over. Obviously, you know, it's the month of fasting for me right now, so I can't really train as much as I usually do. But, you know, I'm ticking over, staying in shape, staying ready for the phone call to come. I'm keeping eyes on my weight division, but it looks like there's not a lot going on. It looks pretty boring to me. I mean, you know, you got the top guys out there like Zelfa, Barrett, Cordina, Martin Ward, and these other guys not really doing nothing. You know, it's just what's going on, man. I know Barrett won a world title eliminator and then went to fight for the European title and pull out the fight anyway. That looks like madness to me. I don't know what Joe's on. It's like them guys are just waiting for the easiest opportunity to win a world title, then they're gonna go for it. That's a bit cowardly to me, man. You see, if I was them, I'll be trying to go for the Shakurs. I'll be calling out the Shakurs. I'll be calling out Oscar Valdez and them kind of guys. Them guys seem like, ooh, I don't want to fight Oscar Valdez, he's too good. Or I don't want to fight Shakur, I'm gonna go for the easiest champion. That's what them guys are on, man. They're not serious about nothing, man. I feel like I'm boxing in the wrong generation. I feel like I should have been boxing in the 80s or something where everyone was fighting everyone.
I could tell you're part of the wolf pack because everyone in that circle with the Savage, Fabio, Dillian, I think you all got the same mindset as well, because I believe all of you were born in the wrong era, because the mentality that you guys have is you fight anyone, anytime, any place. And you're right. And I think everyone in the super featherweight division should be fighting each other. Not sure what is going on with some of them. I'm hearing that Joe Cordina is fighting Ogawa in June in Cardiff for the world title. Mine J Ward, I hope he comes back. He's still 30. He's still got a lot to give to the division. I will love that fight with you as well. One man I want to bring up, and me and you did speak about this in the messages as well, is somebody that is coming up to the super featherweight division. He was meant to fight your last opponent, and not sure why he pulled out or what happened. Is Kid Galahad? Is that a fight that you would take if it was offered to you?
100%. I'll fight anyone, but I'll fight anyone in division. If you go anyone, even in lightweight, anyone in the top 10 in lightweight, anyone in the top 10 in super featherweight, I'll fight them, whether it's Kid Galahad, whether it's Zelfa, Barrett. But the question is, will they fight me? I think that's the big question. I'm willing to say yes to anyone, but these guys are too, I'm probably too high risk for them, put it that way. I'm probably way too high risk. You probably see me in good fights. I thought, ooh, nah, he's too high risk for me. That's too much of a hard fight. Just like you said, Joe Cordina's going to fight Ogawa. Why ain't he trying to fight one of the big boys, man? Why ain't he trying to fight Shakur Stevenson? I know them man has got a fight, but them man has been around for time. He weren't trying to call out Shakur. He weren't trying to call out Oscar Valdez or Belchet, who was the champion before Oscar Valdez. Them man were just waiting, trying to fight the easiest champion, man. Nah, man, I can't do them things, man. If I was in line or ready to go for a world title, I'd want to go for the hardest one for the top world champion. So if it was me, I'd be going for Shakur Stevenson. But these guys, they ain't got the heart like me, man. These guys got some cowardly heart, man. They're just trying to go for the easy fights and take the easy route and just try and be famous.
What's a realistic fight for you? So I've said already, Cordina's going to go for Ogawa. I think Archie Sharp is waiting for the winner of Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. I'm not sure if he will get that title shot. I would hope so, because if he can, find a way to beat one of these two great fighters and bring that home, it makes the fight even bigger if it's a domestic world title fight. Especially if you was to fight someone like an Archie Sharp or Cordina, make it a domestic fight. So out of everyone else, like you said, would they want to risk it? Barrett, he just won like an eliminator. He was going for the European title, pulled out. Maybe there's a bigger opportunity there in secret. Who knows? But out of the ones that are like in the top 10, who's a guy that you think is realistic? Kid Galahad, Martin J. Ward. Is there anyone else that you got your eye on that you think this is realistic? This person might take the fight.
Do you know what? I haven't really thought of it like that. I just look at I've always looked at boxing and thought I would just fight anyone. Like whoever they put in front of me, I will fight. I don't really look at it and say, oh, that's realistic. I'm just a guy that likes to fight. Like if I was in their position, I'll just fight anyone. This just is. I'll just fight anyone. I think, in boxing nowadays, and what's hurting the sport is these guys are trying to pick and choose who they fight and not fight this guy and trying to avoid this guy. But that's hurting the sport because, when the people aren't getting fights that they want to see, and they're getting, shows where you go to the show and then you can pick and you can tell who's going to win on the card before the show even starts. And that's hurting the sport because people want to go to shows to entertain and have 50-50 fights. So I've always been a guy that's like, whoever's on there that's want to have a fight, I'm on it, man. Let's fight. That's someone I've always been that way and always will be that way. I'm not someone that's going to say, oh, I'll fight him. No. I'll fight anyone in that top 10, whoever it is. It doesn't have to be UK as well. It could be anywhere.
Question I want to ask you, Super, as well. Look, anyone that was there that night and anyone that watches the fight back knows who the real winner of that fight against Liam Dillon was, right? I know your level's above that now, but the opportunity came. Eddie Hearn came up to you, or Dillian came up to you and said, Liam Dillon, English title, matchroom card. Would you take that rematch?
100%. 100%. If it's on the right kind of platform that I deserve, that fight should belong on, then I'll take it. I mean, there's no point us doing that fight on the platform it was on because it's going backwards for me anyway. Do you know what I mean? So if it's on the right kind of platform and, you know, everything added up, you know, I'd fight. I'm in boxing. This is what I think I differ from a lot of other people. And I'm not saying every boxer's like this, but I'm someone who's in boxing because I like fighting. I like to fight. I'm not in boxing for fame to be famous. I'm not in boxing to get a blue tick. I'm not in famous. I'm sorry. I'm not in boxing to get rich, even though all these things are bonuses. I'm in boxing purely because I love to fight. If they took all the money out of boxing and said there's no more money in boxing anymore, you're not allowed to earn a penny from it, I'll still be in the gym training because I want to fight. That's the difference between me and these guys. So when it comes to fighting, if it adds up, I'm ready to go, man. Whoever it is.
Has there ever been a talks of you going for the British title or maybe an eliminator for Kakachi?
Do you know what? I don't really know. I know Kakachi's fighting on the undercard next week.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what he's doing, to be honest. I don't know if he's holding on to the belt, if he's releasing the belt. But it's definitely a fight I'll be interested in. The British title is prestigious and it's something I'd love to win or I'd love to fight for. But whether he's willing to fight for it, I don't know. A lot of these guys see me as high risk, low reward. So, you know, they want to stay away from me. Whereas if it was me, I'll fight anyone, man. I'm listening to fight. Like, you know, I'd love to be able to fight, you know, up to 6 to 10 times a year. But obviously, it's hard because nobody really wants to fight. You know, like ever since I've been with Dill and he's been putting me on the cards. I've been given hard fights and I've been taking them. Do you know what I mean? Whatever they put in front of me, I take it. I remember when I went to Spain, they gave me a ex-world title challenger on like maybe 5-6 days notice. I still took the fight. The guy had a mad KO ratio, but I still got in there. Castaneda had a mad KO ratio. I still got in there. These guys are not willing to get in with the guys that I'm willing to get in with. You know, that's the difference between me and them guys at the top there.
It's a shame because that fight would have made a lot of sense. You could catch on the undercard of Dillian, you being part of Dillian's team, Kakache being part of MTK as well. It just would have made a lot of sense. Obviously, I know with Ramadan, it would have been really difficult, obviously, with training for this fight. But if it was later on in the year, that fight just would have, apart from the main event, that would have been the best fight of the cards.
Yeah, it would be a great fight. It would have been a great fight. I mean, it's a shame because they ain't got none of the Wolfpack are on the card. You know, they got no Alan Savage, no Fabio, you know, John Harding or me or Chris Congo. None of us got on the card. But you know what? We just save it and then whether it's down later on in the year, whether it's close, I don't mind. You get me? I just like to fight, man. Put it that way. I just like to fight wherever it is, I want to fight. Like I said, that's the difference between me and a lot of these other guys, man.
I want to talk about your last fight. Obviously, it didn't go your way, and you know, the other day, Calais Solon said something in the press conference that made sense. An L on a fighter's record isn't for losing; it's for learning. What did you learn from that last fight?
Do you know what? Looking back at the fight, I obviously went back to the drawing board, and it being my first loss, I had to watch it. It was tough to take, first of all, because it was the first loss I've ever had. It was tough to take, but you know, I took it on the chin, swallowed it. I said, right, where do I need to go? Where do I need to improve? And I think what I've taken from that fight is I need to close out a fight better. And instead of closing the fight as if I'm up on the scorecards, I need to close it as if I'm down, no matter what's going on, because you never know what's on the judges' scorecards at the end of the day. So from now on, I know I'm going to go out there and I'm going to close a fight and go for it in the last few rounds as opposed to boxing. But you see it in my boxing style anyway. I'm always going for it. I'm always standing there toe to toe, having a good fight, man. I mean, I'm not on this holding and corner to corner and putting the crowd to sleep thing, man. That's garbage, man. Ain't nobody gonna come pay whatever money to come watch boxing and the man's holding and running about the place and looking pretty, man. This is war.
When I watch you fight, I'm just waiting for them body shots, man.
Come on, man. You know me.
The ribs cracking, man.
Whoever I fight next, rib getting brack.
Hopefully it's a big fight because you deserve like a big domestic fight, even if it's someone out of the UK. But I want to see you in a domestic fight because that's what you deserve as well. Especially, and I agree. I think not just this division, every division. Who picked up on it? Dan Aziz picked up on it for the light heavyweight. He said we all need to fight each other. And I think Craig Richards and Buatsi is like the final step to maybe do that. So I think maybe you against someone like, I don't know, a Martin J. Ward can can open the doors now for more domestic fights in this division as well.
Exactly, there's great fights to be made at every weight, and I think the Wetsy Craig Richards fight getting made is like a breath of fresh air. It's like, wow, them guys are actually fighting, whereas you'd never expect it. When that fight came out, I never expected it. I thought, no way, they're actually fighting. Two guys actually gonna fight. So hopefully it's a door open now, and more domestic clashes are gonna be made, because there's lots of great fights there, especially at our weight. There's Cordina, there's Barrett, there's Ward, there's Kakachi, there's Archie Sharp. That I forgot Kakachi and Archie Sharp was even about, to be honest. But them guys are around, so there's a lot of domestic fights to be out there. If they want to get me involved, pick up the phone, because let's be honest, super featherweight division is a bit boring right now. Nothing's going on. So if they want to spice it up, call my manager, man.
Brilliant. What's your prediction of the Shakur Stevenson and the Oscar Valdez fight?
I think it's a big test for Shakur. It's his first big step up like that. But I think he'll rise to the occasion, because it's first time in fighting a big, strong guy like that. But I think his boxing skills will overcome what Oscar Valdez is going to do. And he'll come out, and I think he'll win by unanimous decision. I think everyone in the Oscar Valdez camp is on steroids anyway.
WBC put up a post today with the list of the clean fighters that they just did, and obviously Oscar Valdez was there, and it got a bit heated on Twitter with the comments regarding that.
I never seen one gym where so many guys from the same gym is getting test positive for performance enhancing. That's a bit mad. You get me? That story sells itself.
How important? I know it's a silly question, but obviously he deserves praise as well. How important has Javier Miller been in your life as well, and recently as well in your career?
Do you know what? He's coach is more than a coach to me. I call him coach all the time, but he's more than a coach to me, man. He's someone who really and truly has his best interests at heart for me, and he looks out on me outside of boxing, not just boxing as well. He proper looks out for me, and he's someone I really value in my life. And in terms of the boxing as well, since I started, I tell you, it's something a lot of people don't know. When I went to Xavier, I went to him as an amateur. I think it was my first year as a senior amateur, if I remember properly. And I won the first 13 fights with him on the trot. We didn't lose. First 13 fights, boom. Win. So that's how much he's affected, my boxing game for the better. And only time, time will tell for coach, He's going to have his first world champion, next week, Saturday. I'm obviously going to be a world champion one day. And a lot of guys from the team are going to come up and do big things. So they're going to see, his coaching ability come out soon, man.
We see you're part of IQ Boxing as well. And we saw a few weeks ago, someone finally made her debut, and definitely a future world champion, Shannon Ryan. How proud of you was her for her performance, and how far can she go?
Do you know what? Shannon is someone who looks like she's just built for the big stage. Do you know what I'm saying? She belongs on the TV, under the lights, on pay-per-view and them kind of things there. How she spoke at the press conference, how she conducted herself, and how she performed on fight night, it's where she belongs. She belongs on that big stage, and I know for a fact that she's going to be a world champion, faster than what a lot of people think or expect.
She just looked too comfortable in being out there, and you wouldn't know anyone that's not like a diehard boxing fan. Let's say they just wanted the night out that night. They said, let's go watch the boxing. If they saw Shannon, I don't think they would have believed that was her first ever professional fight.
Exactly. It looked like she had no nerves. I remember my first fight, and I was shitting myself walking to the ring and that sort of stuff, thinking, damn, bloody hell, this is crazy. But she looked like she was just calm, just like another day in the office for her, and it was the first one. So it's scary to think how good she's going to get, because that's the first fight she's had.
How do you feel now? You was in small hall shows. You made a couple. I think you made one or two at Wembley Arena in your time as well. And then when you went with Dillian, the Zone, Gibraltar, Spain, and then in the UK as well. Was you nervous knowing that I'm live on an app that millions of people are watching?
100%. I think the day of the fight, I was nervous because it's my first time on that kind of show, on that kind of stage, and I just didn't want to let the people that supported me from the start down. I had sponsors behind me. Tiger Bay's been behind me from the start. Benja were behind me then as well, and I just didn't want to let anyone down. Coach has been with me from the amateurs and obviously Dillian for giving me the opportunity as well. I just didn't want to let anyone down, so I put a lot of pressure on myself leading up to that fight. But what I reminded myself in the change room beforehand was, regardless of the stage, regardless of the lights, and regardless of the cameras, it's the same thing. It's a ring, a referee, and my opponent. It don't matter whether it's in Gibraltar or in Las Vegas or in York Hall. It's exactly the same. And what I reminded myself just before I went, I was exactly the same as my first ever fight. My first ever fight was in a boxing gym. And it's exactly the same. It's just me, my opponent, and a ref. Doesn't matter how many lights or how many people's watching. So just to focus on the fight itself, and everything will come.
A lot of fighters feed off the crowd, like footballers. If the crowd is cheering, they perform better. Does it affect you in any way, or do you switch off when you're in the ring and you just focus on your opponent?
Do you know what? I focus. I've been trained to only listen up for Xavier's voice. So I only listen up for Xavier's voice. But one thing I'd love to experience is walking up to a crowd and all the crowds booing me. I think that will motivate me differently, because I feel like there's nothing more motivating to me than proving people wrong. And, if I come out to an arena where everyone's booing me, I'm thinking I'm going to get knocked out. I think that will motivate me differently. I'll come out and, I'd love to just shut everyone up. Do you know what I mean? I'm that type of person where I'd love to just shut everyone up. Just, probably calling me all these sort of names in the ring walk and that. But I'd love to experience that one day. So, you know what? It shouldn't really affect anyone. It's how you make it affect you. You support to encourage you, and you use, negative stuff to encourage you as well. Walking out and everyone's booing you, use that to encourage you. So it just depends on your mindset.
Do you think Dillian, because even though there's 94,000 people, I think it's safe to say that there's going to be more Tyson Fury fans than Dillian Whyte fans next Saturday in the stadium. Do you think that will play advantage to Dillian as well? That because he's never, the only time I ever remember Dillian being, let's say, the bad guy, the away fighter, and not by that much, was against AJ. AJ was, they're both up and coming fighters, but I think AJ was the matchroom golden boy at the time, and I think even though there was a lot of South London in that building, I think it was safe to say there was more AJ fans, and he performed well, Dillian, but he's a different Dillian Whyte since then. But do you think the fans booing him will play to his advantages, or do you think he will use that as motivation, in your opinion?
Yeah, definitely. He's got a lot of, there's a lot of people out there that's doubting him. Not only the people on the night, there's people out there on Twitter talking shit. The media's doubting him. People are just writing him off, saying he hasn't got a chance. So I think that's really fueling the fire in him to go out there and prove everyone wrong and shut everyone up. Because, if you do listen to interviews and these kind of things, people aren't giving him a chance at all.
Yeah.
They're talking as if Fury's just going to go in there. It's going to be an easy night. It's homecoming for Fury and he's going to go and take the belt. But, we both know for a fact that's not going to happen. No one has an easy night in front of Dillian. He trains like a maniac. I remember the first time I went out there to see him train in training camp, I thought I trained hard until I saw him train. I was like, right, my training is actually nothing compared to what he does. That's how hard he trains. So, I think that's just going to fuel him even more. He's already fueled up. They've already wronged him for so long. 1,000 days, no, as a mandatory challenger with no challenger, with not being offered to challenge for the title. He's already fueled up. And then the fact that everyone's doubting him is just going to fuel him more. It's going to just, fight now. Everyone will see it on Fight Now.
You've been with Ja from day one, from your first professional fight. Do you think you've become a much better fighter since being in camp with Dillian Whyte as well?
100%. They say you become who you're around. And, me being around one of the best heavyweights, if not the best heavyweight on the planet, I'm constantly learning and evolving. And it's not just Dill. He's got a great team around him. He's got a great S&C coach. He's got a great physio. Zav's around. He's got Harold Knight around in the camp as well. And it's a great camp to just go in and learn. You never stop learning in that camp. I'm definitely a better fighter from when I first went in there. I'm more suited to the pros now. I always had a pro style, but I think now even more so. So, these guys, they just pick up the phone and get me and offer me some fights so I can go out there and mash up their guys and prove to them that I'm the best super featherweight. You get me?
And I hope you get that opportunity. Like I said, you deserve it, man. And us as fans, we need to see these fights. We need to see them. Because the fans...
It's in protecting, man. Let me at them, man. If you beat me fair, but let me at them, man.
If you could pick one name out of all of them, let's say Eddie Hearn calls you tomorrow and says you can have any super featherweight right now, who would you pick in Britain?
I want Kid Galahad.
That's the main guy.
Only, do you know why I say that? I say that because I don't rate what he did with the whole pulling out of the Castaneda fight. I don't rate that because he pulled out. There was no explanation of what happened. I don't know. Someone was telling me that he was on holiday, like 2 days after he pulled out, or something like that. You know, I didn't even know. I went all the way to the show, in Nottingham, and I was at the weigh-in. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm gonna see the guys weighing in that. And then as the weigh-in kept going on, I'm thinking, hold on, where's Castaneda and where's these guys aren't weighing in? What's going on here? And then I come to find out that he pulled out maybe 2 weeks ago from injury, but nobody said nothing. It's like they're trying to cover it up. I don't rate that, man. You didn't come out and give no explanation. So, bruv, you might as well get rid of you from boxing, man. I'll finish him off.
I would love to see that fight. What weaknesses did you see in the last fight against Kiko Martinez?
So no, I just see that he's finished, man. He's finished. I just got to detonate on his chin one time and it's all over. It's all over. And plus, them guys ain't got the heart I got to fight, to really fight. He's trying to look pretty and do all these things, man. Come on, man. I'm made to just go to a war, man. I don't care for them kind of slick boxing and hands down and that. Come on, man. Let's just swing it out. Let's have a shootout.
Before you came onto the big scene with Dillian, you know, a lot of people knew who Youssef Khoumari was, but since coming onto the scene, a lot of people have been praising you. Just now, IBO champion Lerone Richards just said, I rate this guy highly. When you see people like him and others give praise to, you know, your ability, does it give you extra motivation? How does it feel to have people like that praise you?
You know what? It definitely adds to my motivation because they're people who understand boxing and are in boxing as well. So to hear it from people that's in boxing, that they, you know, rating what I'm doing and rating my skills and stuff, you know, it means a lot to me. And it motivates me to go out there and do even better. You know, it means I'm going in the right direction. So I think, you know, a lot of my career has been under the radar anyway. Like, you know, I've been on the small hall for the majority of it. And, you know, it's only now that I'm getting a little bit of a break. And you know what? I just need to get the fights and the people then will see exactly what I'm about. You know, they've seen it a few times already. But, you know, a few more fights and I think they'll really know what I'm about, man. Because, you know, it was a shame that Liam Dillon fight wasn't on TV, it wasn't on nothing, because that was, you know, that was like, people were saying that was fight of the year contender, but no one really saw it. You know, it's on YouTube now, but no one really saw that fight. So, you know, hopefully they can get me out there some more and if they can see some really fight and I can entertain some people because, you know, like I said, in my division, nothing's going on, man. Needs a bit of spice. Call it some super spice.
This is why the deal with Box Nation, Wasserman with Channel 5, this is why now it's important for small hall fights because we've seen so many small hall fights that are much better than the ones that you see on Sky, on The Zone, you know, and now the fans get to see these great fights live on TV as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's better for boxing, you know, more boxing gets more exposure and people get to see more of the fights because, you know, a lot of great fights used to go under the radar. I know when you used to get to see them. I remember going to York Hall for a lot of small fights in the early part of my career and seeing great fights, but nobody knew about these fights. There probably be about 100 man in the arena. So, you know, hopefully now it's good for boxing. More of the boxers are going to get exposure and, you know, this just makes boxing bigger.
Do you think you ever miss it?
What, the small hall?
York Hall. Do you think you ever miss it?
Do you know what I miss? I wouldn't say I miss York Hall and small boxing. I say I miss aspects of amateur boxing. And when I say I miss aspects of amateur boxing, I miss the fact that it's purely a sport and nothing matters apart from the boxing. Like, you could go to a place, right, and it can just be you and your coach. And you'd box and you'd win, lose, draw. Well, there's no draws. You'd win, lose. On to the next one. You can fight next week and fight next week and fight next week. And that's what I miss, the simplicity of it and almost the, what's the word, you know, just how simple it is. You get a phone call, do you want to fight on Saturday? There you go, there's your fight. You know, that's what I miss of it. That's what I miss more than the small hall.
Could we ever see Youssef Khoumari follow the footsteps of Javier Miller and even Nick Prempeh as well?
What do you mean?
To become a coach in the future?
Maybe. That's in the long foreseeable future. I keep telling coach.
That's a long time from now. That's 30 years from now. But
you get me?
Could you ever see yourself become a coach one day in the future? Or a manager like Dillian?
I'd love to manage. I keep telling coach I'm gonna go until I'm 45, and he keeps getting angry at me for saying these kind of things. But but you know what? One day, I think I'd love to manage. I love to help fighters and and help get fighters get opportunities, because I feel like it took me ages to get an opportunity in boxing, especially an opportunity that I felt like I deserved. So I'd love to manage, hopefully one day, and help guys, especially that start off in the same position as me, coming from nothing, and hopefully give them opportunity, because sometimes all a person needs is opportunity.
For sure. Before I let you go, Super, you already made it clear. If you had a choice out of every super featherweight in the country, you said Kid Galahad is the one that you want. Do you have a final message, first of all, for the fans that have supported you from day one, travelled to your call to these big arenas, and have actually tuned in now on DAZN to watch you? Do you have a message for them?
Do you know what? Shout out to the people them that supported me from the start. It's been a long road already. It's going to be a longer road going forward, but trust me, we're on the brink of big things, and it's just for us to pull the trigger and get these big fights, and we'll be back up there in the big time. Like I said, these other guys out there, they see me as too high risk to fight, probably too good. They're probably too good, promoters probably telling them, nah, don't fight him, he's too good, there's no need, right? So, one of them needs to bite the bait and, go up here and fight me, man, because what they're going to be doing, fighting nobodies for their whole career. What, get to 30 and all, fighting international level and all that kind of stuff. Because if you look who I fought for an English title. I fought a 9-0 guy. Coming up, me doing a 9-0. I was undefeated at the time. We both met in the middle and fought for the English title. Who did Joe Cordina fight for the English title? The man fought Sean Dodd. Sean Dodd is done at it. He was done at it a long time. Who did I fight for my first international title? I fought Castaneda, coming off a big win in America, beating Alpha Jones. The man got high OK potential. Who did they fight for their first little fake international title? They're not willing to get in there with the guys that I'm getting in there with. You know what I'm saying? I fought an ex-world title challenger in the takeover on like 6 days' notice. They're not willing to do that. Come on, man. They need to fight me, man, and let me go in there and show them what real boxing is about, and what being a real fighting man is, man.
Before I let you go, Super, what would happen if it was next? Youssef Khoumari versus Kid Galahad.
Knockout. Easy knockout. You know what? I just walk through him as if he's an automatic door. That's what I'll do. I'll walk through him like an automatic door, and I'll put his lights out, just like Kiko did. It's going to happen again.
Can you see that fight being realistic?
Yeah, hopefully. Look, tell you what, he was meant to fight Castaneda, so I'm not far off, I mean, if they could make the Castaneda fight, and maybe if he's too scared to fight Castaneda, he can fight me. I guess I lost, saying I don't have as many knockouts as Castaneda, so maybe you can see me as an easier fight, maybe, and then maybe take the bait and fight me. I don't know. Let's see. You know me, I'm always willing up to fight whoever, so.
That'll be a great fight. I would love to see that fight.
Come on, bring it. Whoever.
Super. Just want to say thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Like I said in the intro, first guy to give us the opportunity. And with this Box Nation deal, hopefully it opens the door for me one day to interview ringside, whether for whatever broadcaster it is, man. That'll be my dream now.
That'll be a story from the abandoned restaurant to ringside.
That's it, bro.
Come on, we're going to tell it one day.
100%. Bro, if you're at the fight next week, I'll see you at Wembley. Good luck to Dillian and your team.
I ain't as lucky as you to have a ticket like that.
Hopefully you guys get it, man.
Hopefully.
Bro, take care.
All right, bro.
We'll speak soon.
Speak soon, man.
Take care, bro.
Cool.